Hey guys, Play Action here, back with you to bring you another video. And today, this is going to be quite a long video, so I hope you guys stay till the end. That would be greatly appreciated by me. But today, we're going to be breaking down every NFL team's record. I have gone through every game and predicted the winner and predicted their record, and I have the whole seeds figured out. I will tell you the seed of the team at the end for the teams that are in the playoffs. So, let's get started. Now, AFC North is where we will start this off with the Baltimore Ravens, 13-4. I have the Ravens finishing as a strong team at 13-4. I think Jackson and Dobbins will make a deadly combo at running the ball, and I think Jackson will be a more great passer this season. I think he will pass to Hollywood Brown and his new weapons, Bateman and Sammy Watkins, and I think Andrews gets back in his groove. Now, obviously, their O-line is a bit better this year. Sure, they lost Orlando Brown Jr., but they gained Kevin Zeitler and Alejandro Villanueva. Now, this is just a strong team that will have a strong finish this season. Next up is the Cleveland Browns, which I have at 11-6. The Browns are going to be a strong team this season that just is so very close to being good. Well, I have them being good, but they're not great yet. I think their coaching staff is amazing at this point. Their defense is top-notch. Mostly, their O-line is one of the best in the league. They have a young gun quarterback, and their running back room might be the best in the league, along with a great group of wide receivers. Now, there are two flaws in this team that hold it back from being just a dominator. That is linebacker and wide receiver. So let's talk about wide receiver first. Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham are out of their prime. They're not that good anymore. I mean, Landry might even be better than Beckham at this point. Beckham is coming off an ACL injury, and Landry is just not at the point in his career where he can be the number one. Now, I think they need to pick up a stud receiver along the way and maybe move on from Beckham. I would keep Landry to be the 2. Now, linebacker, they just don't really have anyone at this point. They need linebacker so badly, and they just don't have one. They need to pick up a linebacker very soon, a guy that can lead the defense. Now, next, let's talk about the Cincinnati Bengals, who I have coming in at 10-7. So, the Bengals, I have finishing stronger than most people. The Bengals, I think, are a great team. That downfall is just that they don't have a good enough defense yet. They get that defense better, they can be a bunch of studs. Now, the Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them lower than most teams just because I am calling the Big Ben fall off now. I do not think they will have a good quarterback this year because their backups are not good enough to replace Ben, and Ben will not be good enough this season. So I'm calling 5-12 on the Steelers. Next up, we have the Tennessee Titans moving into the AFC South, and they are 10-7 in my book. Now, their ranking did not change much with Julio Jones added. I thought Reynolds would be fine. Now, obviously, Julio Jones is much better than Reynolds, and he is a great pickup. I just don't see their offense being as good as people think it will be. Like, some people are calling it a rival the Chiefs for the number one offense in the NFL. I just don't see that happening. But top 5 is guaranteed, in my opinion. And then I do think their defense is way off from being good. Their defense might be one of the bottom in the league, so this will be a team that will be fun to watch because they have a great offense and a pretty bad defense. Next, let's talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, who I have much higher than most at 10-7. I think Lawrence and Etienne will be an amazing combo, but I do not like the Etienne pick to this day. I think James Robinson could have been a great player for years to come, but now they have Etienne, so he'll go to the bench because Trevor's going to get what he wants. So I just don't like the Etienne pick that much. I think they could have drafted a stud receiver or a playmaker on defense or the offensive line. all of those would have helped Trevor more than ETN. Now, I do have him higher than most because I really believe that this offense will be good this year. This defense will lag behind a lot, and their O-line is only okay, but I think Trevor Lawrence is the answer for the Jaguars. Next up, the Indianapolis Colts, I have at 8 and 9. Now, their problem is schedule, really. They do not have an easy schedule. They have a very difficult schedule. Now, Carson Wentz, I have being a serviceable quarterback. I don't have him being bad. I don't have him being good either, though. Their O-line, it is obviously showing this year that they do not have Costanzo anymore. And I think that Carson Wentz takes a lot of sacks from that position. Luckily, they will have Eric Fisher next year, but not this year because of his Achilles injury. Now, the defense, I just think their secondary is too weak to be a contender yet. Now, Texans 1 and 16. I have them just being a garbage pile of a team this year. They only get one win the whole season. I actually forget who that's to, but I have them slated 1 and 16, and this is projecting without Deshaun Watson. I do not think Deshaun Watson will be a Texan this season. I'm not even sure he will play at all this season or ever, but I just think the Texans will be a garbage pile this year. Moving into the AFC East, we have the Buffalo Bills at 13 and 4. Now, this is just how it turned out, the Bills being a powerhouse. Buffalo is just a great team at this point. Allen is a stud. Diggs is a stud, and that's a deadly combo. I do think both of them's, their numbers will regress this season because I do think they figure out their run game. So I think Moss or Singletary, one of them, will emerge as the starter this season. But overall, their defense, their pass rush is way better. Their O-line is still only okay, so that is obviously the weak point of the team, but the rest of the team is pretty good. Now, the Dolphins I have at 11 and 6. The Dolphins are just a difficult team, because the pieces look like they're all there on offense. It just comes down to, will Tua play well? Now, the offensive line could be better for the Dolphins. I will admit that, but it just comes down to, will Tua play well? And I'm saying yes. Now, their defense was surprisingly good last year, and I think they will be good again. On paper, they do not look like a good team. These guys are not guys that have been proven on other teams. They're just there, and they played well. And I think that will happen again. Now, the Jets, I have, again, higher than most at 7 and 10. A lot of people are calling the Jets to be just a garbage pile again. I think they will be okay, mainly because I am just the most bullish person on the planet on Zach Wilson. I think he could be the next Mahomes, and that is saying something. But the Jets, their defense will hold them back this year. Their offense will be really good. The Patriots, how the mighty have fallen. I just have Cam Newton slated to play most of this season, and even when Mac Jones comes in, there's not much he can do because it's his rookie season. I have them at 3 and 14. I know they're the Patriots. They always find a way. But without Brady and with Cam Newton and a rookie quarterback who just is going to take some time to just adapt to the league, I just don't see it happening, I just don't see the Patriots doing it this year. But I do think they will be back next year. Next up is the AFC West, starting off with the Kansas City Chiefs at 12 and 5. Now, I do not think the Chiefs will be dominant this year, but I do say that they will be great. They will win the division. That you might say, of course, but there's another team in there that I have very high as well. I think they will be good again. And next up is the Chargers, also at 12 and 5. Now, the Chiefs, in my projections, beat out the Chargers because I think the Chiefs beat the Chargers twice. They might have actually gone 1-1. I don't know. Somehow it's slated down that the Chiefs were higher than the Chargers. But the Chiefs are just and the Chargers, they're going to both be so good. led by good offenses and serviceable defenses. The Chargers' defense, I think, will be good this year. Now, the Broncos, I don't know how to feel about the Broncos. I have them at 5-12, but I don't know how to feel about them. Locke and Bridgewater could be good. They could be awful. They bring in Rodgers or Watson, assuming Watson plays, then this ranking will be totally different. But they have a difficult schedule, and their defense is there. The rest of their team is there, but quarterback is just a question mark. We don't know what will happen there. So I just have to rank them at 5-12. And finally, the Las Vegas Raiders. They're 3-14 in my book. So I just think the Raiders are not well run. I like Gruden as a coach, but I do not think Mayock is running the team well enough. They can't draft. They literally cannot draft. They make all these bold moves, and everyone's like, well, maybe they saw something the rest of the teams didn't. Nope. Actually, they're just bad picks. It's just they should have gone in the third or second round, but the Raiders take them in the first, and they're just not very good. So that's just the Raiders. They will never be good as long as they keep drafting bad and making these signing moves in free agency, and just they don't ever pan out. So I just think if the Raiders get new management, they could be a good team. All right, as I promised, for the AFC, we will now say the seeding of every single team. Now, the number 1 seed is the Buffalo Bills. The number 2 seed is the Baltimore Ravens. The number 3 seed is the Kansas City Chiefs. The number 4 seed is the Tennessee Titans. The number 5 seed is the Los Angeles Chargers. The number 6 seed is the Miami Dolphins. The number 7 seed is the Cleveland Browns. The number 8 seed is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The number 9 seed is the Cincinnati Bengals. The number 10 seed is the Indianapolis Colts. The 11 seed is the New York Jets. The 12 seed is the Pittsburgh Steelers. The 13 seed is the Denver Broncos. The 14 seed is the Las Vegas Raiders. The 15 seed is the New England Patriots. And the 16 seed is the Houston Texans. All right, guys, that wraps up my AFC record prediction. If you guys want to see my NFC record prediction, that will be dropping very, very soon. So keep watch for that. Remember to subscribe, like this video, click the bell, so you get notifications when Play Action Me releases a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.